Obviously, men are going to tell you, no, we like nice girls. We like nice girls. Stop saying we don't like nice girls. Obviously, they're going to say that.
I'm beginning to get the distinct feeling that someone disagrees that guys, for the most part, do actually like nice girls.
They are trying to manipulate you.
By being honest, oh, what a masterful manipulative plan that is.
And also, if you're no longer nice, then they don't have easy access. Wake up.
Yes, wake up. Being nice has never actually meant that a person doesn't have boundaries. Being nice doesn't mean that a woman gives a man full access. Where do they come up with these ideas?
There is a reason why they tell you this. You really think they're going to let you into the game?
A person doesn't even have to play the game to understand how the rules are played, but some individuals just make them up as they go along.
When men say they like nice girls, it's like girls saying they like the nice guys.
Ooh, the projection section.
But we know that's not true, right? Because otherwise the term nice guys finish last wouldn't even be a thing.
Here's the thing. This is one of those situations where there's an individual that can't imagine that any other person thinks differently than they do. So naturally, if they don't like nice guys, then guys must not be able to like nice girls.
Can we stop saying all men are bad? If all men are bad, you create bystander effect, lowered expectations for men, and you make innocent people pissed off. I would not recommend generalizing like that. Instead, we should say, person's name is bad. For example, Sean is bad. Like this, you assign responsibility to a single wrongdoer, maintain high expectations for men, and you get free white knighting from other men against Sean. Just an example. What's not to love?
I did some research. I found out that most women never marry the man they really want to be with. Oh, I'm about to mess up the church's money, ain't it? Let me tell you, this is how I figured it out. Let me tell you something you've never heard a man say since you've been alive. You've never heard a man say this since you've been on this planet. You've never heard a man say, she grew on me. But every woman knows a woman who would say in front of the man she loved, committed to God, financed the wedding and his family. When I first met him, he was not my type at all. He was short. He was going bald. He had little small hands. I don't like men with small hands, but I mean, eventually he grew on me. That is the rudest thing to say about a man you spending the rest of your life with. This man grew on you like a scab, like a wart, like eczema,
Last relationship, we broke up because he asked me to marry him, but then he asked me to sign a prenuptial agreement, and I said absolutely not. I think that's bogus. I'm not gonna sign a piece of paper that says that if you leave me, I get nothing. Like, no, I think that I should have half of everything that you've worked your entire life for. And I think that's fair.
That man is gonna take that ring back and sleep in heavenly peace.
Should a guy earn for you to date him?
Over 500k, close to $1 million. If he doesn't, I'm not gonna say yes. Do you hear me?
How much should a guy pay for an engagement ring?
He needs to pay again. 500. He gets paid every year. 500. He saves up towards the ring. If he doesn't, he's gonna get a no, and it's gonna be embarrassing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was about to say she's too big to be acting like that, as in, like, you're too grown to be acting like that. I realized how it sounded.
Wow. You see how the pretty chick is cheering on the fat chick? Oh my gosh. I am sure all the men are devastated that they cannot afford to date a 300-pound woman. I am sure they are just crying at home that they do not qualify for this woman. And women's standards have gotten so high, guys, that gay men are taking notice. Men that are not interested in women at all. They don't want to deal with women. They're gay. They notice that women's standards are crazy high. Let's pull it up.
The average woman in Miami walks around looking like an absolute, like I'm talking about like actual OnlyFans. Like they literally walk around, like I was walking around in Brickell earlier, and they're walking around in these little outfits, like their BBLs are hanging out, like they're hanging out, you know, they're hanging out, and they think it's cute because they all look like it, but they don't know how crazy they all look. And like, you're never going to bag like a man of means looking like that because he's just going to run through you and run onto the.
Unfortunately, these women get off on validation, so it's really any man that's willing to come. Wait a minute. I didn't realize how that sounded.
I expect a man to pay for the date. Yes, the whole entire date. That includes my Uber to the date and my Uber back to my house. If you are a man that I'm interested in, I want to see that you can provide for me. I want to see that you can afford an Uber ride. I want to see that you can afford a nice dinner date. Like, can you afford basic things? Because if you can't afford dinner and an Uber by transportation, you certainly can't afford kids. You certainly can't afford a house. You certainly can't afford my bills. And I got bills to pay. Okay.
This sort of list of demands is absolutely a turnoff to all men because they all know that when this is her attitude, she is not reciprocating. She's not putting in effort. She's literally just existing, and she'll actually call that effort. No, a man wants a relationship because of what can be created within that relationship. But when it's pretty clear that a woman just wants to take, especially this early on, that man is just going to look elsewhere, or he'll just decide he's staying single.
He really should. This is nonsense.
How much do you want your wedding to cost?
My thing is not a cost thing. It just needs to
say that up, but we know. Come on.
I want 2 weddings there. I want one here and I want one abroad in South Africa.
Okay, so you've roughly done the costings, roughly.
I haven't done the cost.
But roughly.
Probably like 600k. Probably even more. Probably like.
What currency are we talking about?
Pounds. Probably like 500k.
Wedding.
400k.
Wedding.
350.
Wedding.
How much?
You're trolling me.
Why am I going down?
You're trolling me.
How much do they cost?
A wedding.
Yeah, my dress, my bridesmaids, my car, my people, my hair, like my ring. Are we including the whole thing?
Yeah.
She's clearly joking and delusional.
The only time having a boyfriend is worth it is when he is able to fully support you and pay all your bills. I said it, and I'll say it again. The only time a man who is your boyfriend, he's not your husband, if you're gonna be a girlfriend to someone, he needs to be paying all your bills. Otherwise, why is he there? What is his purpose? If he's not, he's just a boyfriend. Meaning if he leaves you, and a boyfriend is not a legal title. If he leaves you and promises you marriage, leaves you with nothing, you get nothing. But if he's paying all your bills, you're able to save money, you're able to invest into businesses that you want to do. If he leaves you, you're leaving with something else at the end of it. But to date a guy and be someone's girlfriend for free, so he can promise you marriage, he can promise you marriage, Susie marriage, Melina marriage, Selena marriage, all while dating you. Being someone's girlfriend is not worth it, okay? No. If you're gonna be a girlfriend, he needs to be paying a bill or two. These bills are due. I'm not usually anyone's girlfriend, but I'll make that exception for you if you're willing to pay some bills. If you're willing to pay a bill or two.
Their exclusivity sounds like street work. I don't do this for all my customers, but you're getting a low discount of $500 tonight. Take it or leave it.
Hey you guys, I'm about to go on a date. I'm a little early, so I'm gonna take this time to tell you ladies why getting a drink or getting coffee with a guy is an unacceptable first date. This has always been my dating standard, and I always have men who ask me why it's not acceptable, blah, blah, blah. The guys that get it, and the guys that don't. First of all, this is the question I want to ask men. Would you take your celebrity crush to get coffee or get drinks? Granted, I'm not your celebrity crush. I want to be thought of as your dream girl, someone you hold in high regards. You doing the bare minimum by taking me to Starbucks or to the local bar does not make me feel special. Number two, it's giving bare minimum. Like, that's what I'm going to expect from you in a relationship.
I get where you're going with this, but once again, it comes back down to a resume. You can see the resume of an actor or actress online versus you modern women online and all the nonsense that y'all be doing. So if the actress is doing some nonsense online, no, absolutely not.
How much should a man spend on a wedding ring?
Ooh, man, it should be at least 25% of his salary.
I know what kind of ring I want. I couldn't tell you how much it costs, so we'll just have to figure that out when we get to that point.
What do you think it costs, though? Give me an estimate.
I'd probably, just because knowing how expensive jewelry is, I'd say at least like $10K.
Okay. So he's going to spend $10,000 on a wedding ring for you. What does he get in return for that?
I mean, if he wants to marry me, he's gonna get away.
So he has to buy you.
No, he doesn't have to buy me, but the ring that I like, if it's $10K and you want to marry me, like, that's what I want.
He's literally spending money to put a material item on your finger to call you his.
And he's not buying me. We're already in a relationship. We're just taking it to the next step.
Why get the government involved with a contract on a piece of paper? What changes?
Taxes.
What's it worth him spending 25% on a ring for you?
The wedding ring is your first investment into your marriage, and say, like I said, you come on hard times, this and that happens. A wedding ring should be something that if it came to that, you should be able to give that away or invest that into something so that you guys are not on hard times. So if you just spend $100 on that, it's not like it's an investment into your marriage. It's not just I'm spending 10, 20K to have her be my wife. It's an investment into your marriage. It's the first step into that. So
it's not really an investment into your marriage, because if this ultra super fine guy came up to you, modern women, and they gave you a piece of rope and put it on your finger, then you'd accept it. So it's not really about that. And that's not an investment into your marriage the way I see it. Your love and commitment is an investment. I can see if the man just got you like a ring pop or something like that, that's clearly not of any value. But if the man has spent a significant portion of money and you're not, oh man, is that 25% of your check?
At 7. So I would prefer someone who's over 6 feet. Honestly, I mean, definitely over 6 figures.
You gotta be 6 feet, 6 figures. So a man that paid $80,000, that's not
not at all.
Why is $80,000 not enough, bro?
I know me, I know my lifestyle, that's just not going to cut it. We're not gonna go out to eat how I want. We're not gonna be able to travel like how I want. We're not gonna be, it's just gonna be too many like limitations, and I don't like that.
Okay, so where does she want to go out to eat that's going to require a man to make 6 figures? Are they going to be eating Salt Bay steaks 3 times a week? And he has to be 6 feet tall. No, not 5'11", 6 feet tall. It's the 666. These modern women want the 666. That's 6 figures, 6 feet tall with the 6-pack. And 80K is not enough. Nope, has to be 6 figures, nothing less, because that would be breaking the 666. You have to keep the 666.
And they be saying this silly stuff with a smile. Girl, get offline and delete your account.
Why would I help a man get on his feet if there are men who are already standing up?
Oh, darling, I got some bad news for you. You see, as one of those men who's gotten on his feet, probably has more money in the bank than you'll make in 3 lifetimes, has been very successful, the question you really need to be asking is not why would you help a man get on his feet, but why would a man who's on his feet want anything to do with you? Because what are you bringing to the table? Oh, I know. You're going to say this. Well, I hate to break it to you, but this ain't worth what you think it is. There's plenty of this to be found elsewhere. The fact of the matter is, what you're showing to men who are on their feet is that you're nothing more than someone who's looking for a paycheck. You're looking for someone to take care of you. You're looking for someone to bear the burden for your lifestyle you think you deserve, so that you don't have to put any effort into acquiring it. The reality is, this is the mindset of most of today's modern women. The ones who think that they deserve it all while putting absolutely no effort in whatsoever. They think that they are all that, when in reality, they're anything but. And unfortunately for these women, reality is going to smack them right in the face in a few years. They're going to hit that wall, and they're going to realize that all their expectations and dreams about what men are supposed to do for them isn't going to come to fruition. They're going to end up alone and bitter. And then they're going to go making videos going, where are all the men at? That's the reality, ladies. And you got 2 choices. You can keep doing what you're doing, which is basically what this woman is doing, or you can accept the fact that you need to start making an effort also, that you aren't all that, and that you're really not bringing anything to the table that men would really want. That is the reality, like it or not.
I mean, I guess so, if that's how you see it.
Every good man deserves a freak nasty woman. I mean, eat them up for breakfast, lunch, stand up.
Let me get this straight. You have been telling men for years that you don't want them, that you don't need them, that they don't meet your standards, that they don't treat you right. that you can pay for your own hair, you can pay for your own nails, you can afford your own home, you can afford your own car. Men are good for nothing. You're strong, you're independent. But then you get mad when these men go to another country to actually find a woman that has the qualities that they are looking for in a wife. Make it make sense. I also want to talk about why this mindset that so many Western women have is actually extremely problematic. Because not only are you putting down the men who are going overseas with pure intentions, you're also putting down the women from these other countries solely off of the fact that they were not brought up in a Western culture. Because you're calling them uneducated, you're calling them poor, you're calling them weak, you're calling them vulnerable. You're creating a superiority complex where you are at the top and women from all these other countries are at the bottom. Now let me tell you something. If you were really superior, the men would not be leaving. And you would not be submitting.
I know y'all be scared to say shit, but I'm not. We're tired of playing the game with who got an annoying girlfriend in the background. Point blank period, we're sick of it. We're tired of these always having a conversation in the background, trying to tell you about her job, trying to gossip. We're playing the game. And if that really loves you, she would think, yo, I'm with this every day. We live together. Don't he deserve 2 or 3 hours on the game with his bros? You would think that I would think that. You giving her good dick every night and good money every day, right? You would think she would have a little consideration for you. I didn't think so. That don't love you. And then y'all be really sitting here having conversations with them like we not on the game. Lock in. If you wanted to talk to her, you could have never even turned on your game. Then the crying baby, like, at this point, y'all gotta wait until the baby's 6 months to the point where they're on a walker or something so they can walk out the room. Because if you're at a point where you gotta hold the baby and play the game, you shouldn't be playing the game, bro. You got other priorities you need to handle. Get on the game to release stress. I'm more stressed on the game. I hear you walking in and out the room more than I hear walking in and out of the control center. It don't make sense to me.
Men saying, I've just decided altogether to avoid women, that it's better to be single, guys. They're almost like happy about the fact that they're gonna make the choice to avoid the entire gender of women because they have yet to actually resolve the war they have within themselves.
Stop leaving the light on. If you're the last person to leave, turn it off. I can't see anything. It would help if the porch light was on.